Lilies mean purity, red roses mean passionate love, and yellow roses mean friendship. These are symbols commonly known by many. We give roses on Valentine's Day but save the yellows one for our friends on their sickbed. But why? Who started all this? And ever since I learnt about the Victorians' complicated floriography etiquette and then bought a book describing the various meanings a flower can hold, it makes me feel a bit more curious. Thus, here I am, compiling information about the history and telling you the tale behind the language of flowers. But before we start, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification to watch more videos about fiction and art. Apart from that, I'm planning on posting more videos about interesting aspects of languages, like the language of flower video you are watching right now. The language of flowers, or floriography, is a form of communication through the meanings hidden in flowers. Flower arrangement is one example. Since ancient times, people have been using flowers to convey symbolic messages. The meaning was mostly taken from the characteristics of each flower. In ancient Egypt, water lilies symbolize rebirth. This is due to the fact that the water lily closes at dusk, sinks under the water, and then reopens in the morning like a sunrise and sunset. This phenomenon is then related to the sun god Ra, who is said to reincarnate every morning. In ancient Greek, poppies were often associated with Hypnos, the god of sleep, and Morpheus, the god of dreams, due to the red flower's hypnotic abilities. For famous flower symbolism in the Victorian era, however, the etiquette is a bit more complicated than that. It is said that some suitors would select flowers, herbs, and other plants, then arrange a bouquet or tussimusi, nosegay, expressing a dialogue according to the meaning of those plants. Well, it doesn't end there. Sometimes the meaning of a bouquet can be altered depending on the number of flowers, the other flower arranged for them, or even the color of the ribbon used to tie all those plants together. Now, after meticulously arranging a bouquet, it is time to deliver it. If the receiver accepts the bouquet with their right hand, that means they say yes to the message. If otherwise with the left hand, that means no. Or if it is a proposition, holding a bouquet downside is also interpreted as a no. Well, a bouquet does not always have to be romantic. It can deliver a negative message as well. If someone gives you a bouquet containing basil, for example, it means they hate you. It is said that Lady Mary Wortley Montagu, a poet who married a British ambassador in Turkey, brought this custom to England during 1718. Lady Montagu popularized this custom through her letters, where she includes Turkish interpretation of flowers. The interpretation came from the Turkish harem, where the women in harem used the flower symbolic meanings to communicate with their lovers. Apart from Lady Montagu, there were other significant figures who were involved in the development of floriography, especially through books. Joseph Hammerpostall, an Austrian historian, wrote the earliest book on flowers and their symbolic meanings. Excuse my French pronunciation. Dictionnaire du langage des fleurs in 1809. Back to our British pioneer, Henry Phillips, a British botanist and horticultural writer, published Floral Emblems, or a Guide to the Language of Flowers, in 1831. And how can we leave out France while discussing something as romantic as flowers? Louise Cortambert, known under the pen name Madame Charlotte de Latour, wrote Le Langage des Fleurs, a dictionary for the language of flower, in 1839. This book was a huge success in France and afterwards inspired readers in England, America, and other countries around the world. Apart from these three writers, many individuals also published their own floral dictionaries, and yes, there are possibilities that the interpretation might not be the same in every single book. So when you send someone a bouquet, make sure both of you have the same dictionary, or your romantic bouquet might cause a bit of misunderstanding. Wait, really? Let's see. In Charlotte de Latour book, ivy means friendship. And here in Henry Phillips, ivy means fidelity in friendship. Oh yeah, right, that's definitely something. Outside Europe, many countries develop their own floriography as well. For example, Japan has their unique interpretation of flowers called hanakotoba, which simply means the language of flowers. Some claim the tradition was introduced to Japan in the 19th century, but undoubtedly, the meaning of flowers in hanakotoba was influenced by Japanese traditions existed long before that. One of the most influential Japanese interpretations of flower is the meaning of the red spider lily. Red spider lily or higanbana is often associated with death, like final goodbye or abandonment. This might be because people often plant this red alluring flower near graveyards. Nowadays, though we don't give too much of an interpretation to each bouquet we receive, we still use the flower symbolism on special occasions or in literature. We see poinsettia everywhere during Christmas. On Mother's Day, Americans tend to give carnations to their moms, whereas Australians give chrysanthemums, or could be other flowers for people in other regions. And of course, the cliché roses are given on Valentine's Day. For literature, writers and creators have cleverly incorporated the language of flowers in their stories also. In the Hunger Games series, Katniss Everdeen learned from her father that dandelions are edible, so she and her sister ate them to survive after their father's death. Seeing dandelions gives her hope. It is evident in the line, "I had to turn away from Peter Millar's bruised face when I saw the dandelion, and I knew hope wasn't lost." In reality, dandelions are also the flower of hope and healing. Or in the series Game of Thrones, the sigil of House Tyrell is a golden rose. It represents that though they are graceful, they have their thorns. Next, higanbana, the red flower from earlier, is often depicted as a symbol of death in anime, like in Inuyasha, Tokyo Ghoul, Demon Slayer, and many others. So, considering all this, now we have the answer to the question, who started all this weird floral tradition? The answer is, expectedly, no one really started this. True, this etiquette might be influenced by a Turkish tradition. However, ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, and many more cultures have had a great impact on symbolic meanings of flowers. Do you have your favorite flower, perhaps? My favorite is a black rose. Typical, I know, but what's yours, and why do you like it? Is it because of the meaning behind it? I love mine because while black roses represent sorrow, a lot of people say they represent eternal love too. I know that's quite sappy actually, but well, I really wonder why it could also mean eternal love. Do you enjoy this journey? If so, click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. I know I haven't posted anything for quite some time, but I'm back.